Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 10 French cruiser, Henri IV. He has 53,300 health, a top speed of 35 knots, 9 240mm guns, 6 torpedoes, a surface detect of 14.1 kilometers, and 76 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, improved rate of fire, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rate of shift, steering mod version 3. For my commander, priority target, expert marksman, adrenaline rush, basic firing training, superintendent, advanced firing training, and concealment. We are on the map Loop, and the French cruisers have arrived, at least for community contributors, super testers, and developers. What do you think, Notser? I've heard many people give me an opinion, but I want yours. So what I will say is, please appreciate that this is work in progress, and the stats are not final. But, before I say that, by the way, there are some great people who do a podcast. Gosh, what's the podcast? I was a part of this podcast, and I really want to just give a shout out. The Warships podcast, I was a part of episode 32. They do a great job, and I really enjoyed my time with the Warships podcast. I'll try to make sure that there is a link in the video description. But I was just talking about whatever. So, and I keep forgetting to mention it, and I will mention them more often because it was really fun, and they deserve people to listen. So, the Henri IV. I really apologize. Anyone who is French, understands French, I am so sorry. This is just such a different language for me. So, the Tier 10. Henri. It's Henry to me, okay? I'm sorry. Audi. Anyway, Audi is a Tier 10, and it's really weird. What is the French cruiser identity, Notser? This is something I'm interested in. So, let me just paint a word picture with you while you watch me try and take out the hipper who's showing too much side. Of course, we do a lot of damage, but not the right amount of damage at the very end to get the kill. Good job, Benson. What can I say? But this particular ship and all the other French cruisers have a very distinct flavor. Now, what is that flavor? And maybe you don't like the taste. Low armor. Not quick, but they could be. It kind of feels like the speed of the ship would be ideal if it always had the boost speed. It's a little sluggish for how low the armor is. It is very easy to absolutely obliterate because of its armor. And its gun range is obviously very impressive. This is an unimproved gun range. 19.1 unimproved. It gets out to something like 22 if I go gun range. And the reason I didn't go gun range is, quite honestly, the rate of fire sucks. This is sort of a good rate of fire. This, with the rate of fire module, this is what I would like it to be at. And even with rate of fire similar to this, and look at that. God. Just a touch shown. And they massively citadel us and push us way down. Doesn't have a heal comparable to the British cruisers. The British cruisers, I would probably compare the armor profile. That's the one they are. They don't have smoke, obviously. So you've got to be using your range as the primary mean of avoiding damage. Time to target will allow you to maneuver. That's why I got the steering module. I have tried concealment, the module. Believe me, I've tried it. But you must be able to dodge out of the way. The rate of fire is okay, I guess, for 240s. I would prefer it to be this baseline, this 15 baseline, and then boost it up to something like 13 with the rate of fire. I think that would be a good change. The speed is okay. The speed feels like it could be great with the boost, obviously, and I know I'm going through everything. I'm just trying to make sure you can understand. AA is terrible. Absolutely terrible. So what this particular ship class wants to do is they want to stay back, fire at the enemy, sort of maybe hang out by battleships that love to stay in a passive stance, You know, makes sense. You don't want to be the one taking fire. As long as you have priority target and you don't see anyone targeting you, you go ham. You go as hard as you can because you just don't have enough damage. And the guns, how do the guns feel? Well, I feel like velocity-wise, they feel fine. I mean, you got to understand, you've got 4 to 5 kilometers on American cruisers, and the velocity feels about the same from the standpoint at my near max range. It takes the same time as it would for the near max range for an American cruiser. So at 15.6 or 16 kilometers, it's going to take you 10 to 12 seconds for that shell to get to the target in your Des Moines. At 19 kilometers, it's going to take 10 to 12 seconds for the shell to get to the target in this particular ship. That's not too bad. What is really bad, though, is it just feels really underwhelming in the damage output category. Now, maybe that's because they're afraid. It's easy enough to hit at long range that you will do it consistently. It's just whether the shells are going to do the damage you need them to do. The chat was like, try AP, try AP, try AP. I'm trying AP. I'm really trying. I mean, look at how many failed to pin, shattered on impact, all that stuff. I didn't really have a lot of success. But we're going to try. We're going to try. So what should I try to do in the French cruisers? At least what do I think? I believe the French cruisers operate at range, support the team. You try and do as much DPS as you can, and you minimize your profile whenever the enemy is shooting. You duck, you dip, you wiggle, whatever you want to call it. You try to make the enemy fire at your best angle, and you fire at their worst. The guns can rotate quick enough for you to do this. The size of the ship, this is a very large ship. This is just slightly smaller than the Moskva, and the Moskva is a monster for a cruiser. So it's going to be easy to see, easy to fire at. You just got to deal with it. Now, we're going to go after the Iowa. He's showing a broadside, switch to AP, try and elevate the guns. I would like to see more damage. This is sort of the same damage I would do in a Des Moines. And this is a 240mm gun. You know, this should do way more damage per shot than a Des Moines. Sometimes it does. Very rarely will you get the 10,000 AP damaging salvo. Other times, not so much. Other times, you're lucky to get 4 to 6,000. So something about the shell is slightly awkward. I don't know if it's its penetration force or if it's the damage per shell. I don't know what it is, the rate of fire. Just something is a little weird. Now, this camo that you're seeing, and you're like, camo? I don't see any camo. This is their camo. They use a premium camo. Tier 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 have the exact same camo. It is a sort of Measure 22-esque style camo. I believe it's called Atlantic Gray. I think it looks great. I think it looks classy. It's very sleek. I've always liked that style. I switch back and forth between AP and HE. It just... I mean, you've got enemy showing the broadside. I'm able to punish it, but I can't do any damage. I've only done 53,000, right? And, you know, the team needs me. We're sort of dropping in effectiveness because I operate so far away, and I have to do that because of my armor profile. I am just not able to effectively change the game. I can't go after cruisers or destroyers that want to take objectives unless I'm close, and conveniently there's nobody firing on me. It's just really awkward at times. The boost doesn't give you anything. The boost might as well not even be there. There we go. That's a pretty good shot. 8,800. That's not bad. That's not bad, right? That felt good. If more salvos could feel like that, and less like the 2,000 to 4,000, then we would have something. This would be a very different ship. But it's taking so much effort to get all this little damage. I feel like I have a huge advantage. Nobody's firing on me. I'm manipulating the map to limit the number of targets on me, and I still am not being effective. It's just, yeah. I wanna love this ship. I wanna love this identity. Fast cruisers that have long-range support, able to maneuver an angle against a target. A very similar layout as the American cruisers. I love American cruisers, partially because I'm an American, but that is a sleek profile. And I'm just not getting everything I want from this. They can improve it, of course. And I talked about this on the stream. What I would really like to see is that they boost the base speed of the ship to match the boosted with the consumable speed, and then the boost is going to really push you into overdrive. Like, I'm talking 4 to 5 knot increase in the boost, so you really feel like the boost is a tool you could use to maybe dodge shells, because it's really hard to hit fast ships, let's be honest. Or to get over to an objective because you're so far from the front, you can move in close. That's not what I'm seeing. Boost is basically what you wish the ship was moving at. Base. Yeah. So if they fix that, if they make the shell feel a little bit less fragile when it hits the target, and maybe consider keeping the rate of fire boosted, the default. I don't really know though that you need that. They just need to do something with the DPS and something with the speed. Those are the two parts of the ship that really feel like, why would I play this? The boost, just look at the boost. We're fully boosted, okay? Look at the top speed of a fully boosted cruiser. It's something in the realm of 37.3, 37.4. I mean, come on. That's fast, but that's not really that fast. That's not, this is a skill that is defining your cruiser line. You should really be excited for this. This is more like, okay, 2 knots, woo! That's just a huge underperforming skill compared to radar or hydroacoustic, right? Those are real skill, or smoke. So improve boost, improve the way the ship, the speed of the ship initially, just slightly, 1 or 2 knots, and make the shell improve either rate of fire, the way it impacts on the target, just something to make it. I mean, I've only done 88,000 damage. I've survived almost 15 minutes. I've been firing basically the entire game. I'm not the best shot, but these guys don't want to die. They're going to avoid the shot. That's a normal game. I don't know if I would hit that shot in my Des Moines. Now, I would fire like 4 times for that 1 shot, but it's, and of course, another aspect of this is that the Hubadovsk has sustained enough damage that he is no longer going to take it if I hit modules in the area, just going to be absorbed. So I would really like to take the Hubadovsk out. Ooh, 2,000. Let me just be completely shocked by 2,000. Oh, it's not the easiest shot in the world. We don't have a single kill, but we could get one. And of course, the enemy sends his torpedoes. So the game is kind of awkward. It's 1 versus 3 on this flank. They're all really low though, and I'm just trying to find a target that I can kill. Shimakaze, potential target. Just barely off. We can still finish him off, maybe before he goes fully dark in his smoke. Still trying to gain ground. It's just, I like the appearance. I think it looks great. The models look great. The camo's great. The idea does make sense. You operate at long range, you use boost sort of to close that gap and to impact either a destroyer-on-destroyer action, capture point, something, whatever. Friendlies are able to take out the Izmo, but it just doesn't work like that right now. It works more like use boost on cooldown just so you can exist. Try your best to be as far away from the enemy as you possibly can be, because you're going to take a ton of damage. I didn't even show my side at all to that Friedrich der Grosse, and he was able to do like 18,000 in a salvo. It's just really low armored, really dangerous. So you can't let up for 1 second. It's a very high skill. It feels like a British cruiser caught out without smoke. If you show your side or whatever, and this is a big risk right here, I felt like this is the point in the game where I could lose a chance to bring it back. Because there's a North Carolina in the smoke. We've got to get kills. I don't have a choice. I just can't retreat. I've got to try and bait out one of the destroyers to come close. And I'm really hoping he does. I'm really hoping he does. And he does! Why would you fire your guns? 7.9 kilometer range. This is a perfect example of why 6.3 is so punishing to a destroyer that fires his guns. I don't know why he did. And I had AP loaded because I was ready to go on the North Carolina. And we almost kill him with the first salvo. This should easily take him out. Yes, we take him out. But that is a huge mistake by him. All he had to do is hide. All he had to do is hide. That Hubadovsk, he's within striking distance. He's definitely close enough that I can hit him. It's not an impossible shot. It's just not an easy shot. It'll take me 3 or 4 salvos because for whatever reason the damage output is really low, and of course whenever the North Carolina shows up, he has fired his gun, so I drop my speed, hoping that he'll overshoot. And he just barely hits the water. That was so close. But we gotta get him. We gotta get him right now. He is next to an island. He's dealing with friendlies that are trying to fire on him. I need to take him out. I have to try and punish him. And we don't lead him initially. Not enough, at least. I've got to close this gap. The Hubadovsk has terrible concealment. The North Carolina has terrible concealment. I will be able to see both of them. And I need to kill the Hubadovsk. We still are not in a position where I feel comfortable. I've got to kill this guy. We've got to make sure our team has a chance. I have no idea how much health my teammates have. Oh, that Iowa. Yeah, that Iowa's pretty bad. He's due to die any second. So we need to get this enemy destroyer. And I'm just like, push forward directly towards him. Use that speed. When's the speed going to kick in? Oh, boost is already on? Yeah, speed's not really there. But we get close. Ah, the shells. You would never know these are 240 millimeter shells. They feel like 155 or something like that. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. He's making a break for it. He's about 1 kilometer away from dropping off. We've got to hit this shot. Oh, he disappeared. Come on, get him. Get him. Yes, we got him. Okay, don't die. Don't die to the bow citadel. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Oh, this is going to hurt. Oof, yeah, I just felt like I was going to die. But look at this torpedo arc, Notser. It's so good. Yeah, it is good. You basically don't have to angle to use your torpedoes. They're just a benefit, a bonus. You can maintain great angle against your target. You do only have 3 torpedoes per side. That's the one issue, but it's nice to not have to change your angle at all. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to race past the turret, make it very difficult for him to hit me. Oh, so close. Honestly, very close. But the team was able to win the game, and just in the nick of time. And we did a grand total of 123,000. We carried the crap out of that game, and we only did 123,000. 2 kills. You know, I will grant you I'm not a good player, especially not with French cruisers. But I think because I lived 20 minutes and fired my guns a lot, I think I should have done more than 123. Yeah, look, barely beat out the Izmo, barely. But 2,088 base XP is good. I just think that this particular ship in this particular game probably would have contributed more if some aspect of it was slightly better. Maybe the guns, maybe the speed, maybe a combination, maybe a slight boost. And that's what the French cruiser line feels like so far. They're just slightly underpowered. I see the potential. If I had to rate them out of a scale of 1 to 10, 6 or 7. They're almost there. They're sort of what some of the weaker ships, the old York, the old Furutaka, the old New Orleans, Pensacola, Baltimore, that's where they feel right now. They're just not good enough to compete with the established cruisers because they've balanced them and they've designed them, all that stuff. Needs a little bit of work, but I see the potential. 2 million was fired at us, by the way. We dodged a lot of shells that came our way, and that's because maneuverability was what I valued going into this game, and it worked out. That's impressive no matter what ship. 2 million is really good. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's intriguing. I'm going to show more French cruisers in the future. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.